Hello, hello from New Orleans. New Orleans. We are at St. Joseph Cemetery here, and it's a beautiful, crisp, cool, sunny day in the upper 30s. Not bad. A little bit of breeze. How's everybody doing? I got a whole bunch of stuff done here, and I thought I'd check in with you guys. Hi there, Kathy Baker. What's going on? You are first. You are first to chime in. Yeah, we are right by Lafayette #2, which I think last year we did an episode there. Hey there, Tina, Lynn. All right, here they come. Here comes the gang. Michael, we got Mary, we got Wendy, Burgess, Kathy. What's going on? You guys ready to take a little walk? We'll walk through the house. I said the house is the city of the dead. Well, these are like the houses of the dead, right? So this is, yeah, on this trip, I did hit a couple of the big ones, but mostly focused on the ones that are kind of out of the way, the lesser known cemeteries. There's so many to choose from. Mardi Gras about to kick in bigger and bigger. It's already going. You know, they start like 6 weeks ahead of time, or maybe it's 8 weeks, and they start building. I already heard some trumpets and drums going while I was filming at the last cemetery. I loved it. It gave me a warm party feeling. So, yeah, having a wonderful day for sure. It's sunny, it's beautiful. It's in the upper 30s, not a lot of wind. Sweatshirt weather, if you're like me. But you guys are suffering up north to the northeast, I know. Wow. Thank God it's starting to warm up there, right? I think tomorrow or the next day or later, early next week, right? You guys are going to get a reprieve. What's up, Jay? Joy from North Carolina. Sorry. We got Maria, Southern California. Oh, you're enjoying some good weather. Paulette loves the snow. Marie's from Chicago. All right. Yeah, my hometown, my former hometown. Okay, enough blabbing. Get off my face. Let's take a walk at St. Joseph's here. St. Joseph, I don't know if this is cemetery #1 or #2. Let's take a look here. Bobby from Oklahoma, what's happening? I'm loving New Orleans, guys. We got Jake from Georgia. I like that, kind of rhymes. Bakersfield, California. Yeah, I was just there. I did a episode last month there. Bakersfield. Somebody's got Verena. We got a storm coming. Is it a snowstorm or is it a rainstorm or a snowstorm? We got Leonette. Is that Leonette from South Africa? Wow. What time is it there? In the middle of the night, I'm guessing. Here it is, the city of the dead. I want to get into Lafayette #1, but it's still closed. I think it's under renovations. I'm not sure. Cannot get in there. And I wanted to get in the Oddfellows Rest, and that is still closed. I think that's permanently closed to the public. But those are two cool places. We got Lafayette #2. Oh, look at this, guys. B. Mathurin. And this is like an open crypt. Hello from Connecticut. What's going on? Bohemian Traveler. Love it. See if we can have a look inside here, huh? I think I can get the camera in there. I don't think there's much to see. This big old, not in good shape. Yeah, there's some of these are really in bad shape here. Not at this, the one I was at prior that I did some video. There was one of these, there are a number of them that were just really destroyed. So you guys surviving the, who's this? Verena does ghost hunting. See if you can conjure up a ghost here, huh? Zahn, Angela Zahn for $5. Thank you. Angela, you're always so generous. Thanks so much. Always donating. It's very cool. Yeah, all that money goes to new gravestones and stuff that we can find for people. I think we're kind of caught up on that right now. Done a lot. You take a little break for a while and let the account charge back up. We're still in debt, but I appreciate all that money helps, keeps that going. So what's going on? Hot and humid in Perth, Western Australia. Yeah, I've gotten a Joe. Is it Joe? Joe Raston? Yeah, I've gotten a number of people from Australia saying you guys are baking down under. Some nice wrought iron work. Thanks, Kit Kat. Very cool. Glad you enjoy the stuff. Yeah, so I've got a lot of stuff coming still from California that you're going to see. We're in Bad Women Month, as you know. Oh, look at there's a little dirt pile over here. Oh, look at this. This is kind of interesting. This weekend is going to be from the Stockton area, and then got a few more from out there, and then we'll transition into this road trip. Look at this pile of dirt. Wonder what's going on here. Then we'll transition to the. I came here from via Texas, via actually before that, New Mexico. Did a story in eastern New Mexico. Oh, thank you, Leah S. for $20. It's probably you because I've got a good signal here, Dawn. It's probably your connection. Sorry about that if it's blurry. Hopefully it's clear for most of you. And what was I saying? Yeah, so I did New Mexico, and then I came into Texas. I'm doing a lot of stuff in Texas on this trip. You know the story of the, you know the stories I did of the Comanche and the Sioux and the different bands and the attacks and what it was like on the Oregon Trail and that sort of stuff. Well, I'm covering a lot more of that in Texas. Some brutal stories and going to the actual locations, the grave sites, pioneer families. One of them's really bad. And then some weird stories. But it seems like I've got a lot of views from those stories in the past where we've covered the, you know, the pioneers and the hardships and the true stories of. Some of them are pretty brutal, and that's how it was back then. But it seems like you guys like that kind of stuff, which I do. So I've done hitting Texas pretty hard. Now I came through El Paso. I thought El Paso was like this little town. It's massive. I'm actually on the way out. I think I'm going to stay over in El Paso. I'm not going to do John Wesley Hardin or. Well, you know what? I may stop by John Wesley Hardin's grave just to say on there. Maybe I'll do a 2-minute video of that just to go, hey, we're here. But it's like so worn out on YouTube. And Pat Garrett, who killed Billy the Kid, by the way, which is a huge conspiracy. So many people, I'm really shocked, believe that Billy the Kid was not killed by Pat Garrett. It's kind of like Kennedy, and it's the conspiracy people. And hey, 10 from Karen, thank you, appreciate it. And it's like, yeah, Billy the Kid lived on, and then he lived to really old age, and he met Elvis, and he actually inspired Elvis to become a singer. And then he went to, he died in Hawaii, right? That's what I say about Billy the Kid. It's like, come on, guys, get over your conspiracy theories. So anyway, El Paso looks like a pretty cool place. So yeah, maybe I'll take a quick look at his grave. But for now, we are in New Orleans. And the crows, holy cow. I don't know if you can see or hear. Well, you probably can't hear on my mic, but there's like crows. A murder of crows, guys. Who just donated there? Somebody just donated. Karen for 10. I think I already called you out. Somebody else. Oh, Paulette for $50. Paulette, a huge shout out. Wow, that's very generous. As I'm like pointing the camera at the sky, I hope you like that. That was pretty exciting, wasn't it? Very cool. Shout out to our mods, Alice and Ashley. Who's with us? Did any guys make it here? Ashley's here. Okay. Thanks, Ashley. It's a Saturday, right? Little different. Yeah, I'm not able to do as many live streams. There's not a lot to do. There's just not a lot going on in Phoenix area and cemeteries. I gotta like branch out. I'm doing more traveling. Let's go down this corridor. It's windy here, so I'm mic'd up. Actually, all the episodes I did here, I'm mic'd up and using more of the cell phone format. When it's windy, the big cinematic camera mic system does not do so well. And I have to edit out all this wind noise, it takes hours. So, St. Joseph, a little different. You haven't been to this one. I'm trying to take you to places that we haven't been. But I'll tell you, as I walk these, it starts to become monolithic. Like, it's really cool at first. Other than Metairie and other than Greenwood, and let's see, what else? St. Louis 1 is pretty cool, but you got to go with the tour guide, and I'm not doing that. You know, I did the drone thing. I'm not going to go in a tour group. It's not going to do it. But all of these, they start to kind of, everything starts to look the same. So what I did on this trip is I did something that we haven't done before. I don't think anyone's really done before. It's not like earth shattering, but it's just a different format and it's a different thing here. And I think you guys are going to find it really interesting. It was fun to do. So look for that. That stuff will probably come out in March, April, because next month we're still going to be into the California stuff. You know, I was up in the Sacramento area and we got Bad Women's Month into February. Well, into the end of January, the story that's coming out tomorrow, there was a group of bad women that participated in this horrible act. I don't know if you saw my post, but it was on a real true story of a woman buried alive, and she wasn't like unconscious, she was conscious. Really bad. And then next Sunday to close out January, Bad Women, it's kind of like a little bit of a riddle. Was she a bad woman or wasn't she? And it's kind of one of those unsolved kind of stories where you have to figure it out. And then we'll be onward into February. I think we'll get onto this trip a little bit. Live from Sacramento. Way to post that, Ashley. Yeah, that was really fun. That was just between the little rainstorms. So maybe you guys want me to take a closer look at some of these. You know, all of these have stories. I mean, all these people had lives. And it's just fascinating. Oh, I think I see a Michael the Archangel up there. I always like those. Those are kind of spooky for me because of The Exorcist and the true story of The Exorcist. It's an episode I did when I first started the channel. Fascinated with the true history, which I have a connection to with one of the brothers associated with Alexian brothers, one of the Franciscans who is passed on, but when I was younger, I have an interesting connection there. And that's a true story, you know. That was a boy. They just released his name last year, didn't they? Ronald or Roland. Yeah, let's check out the statue. It's a beautiful, beautiful crypt. There are not really many mausoleums unless you go to Metairie. These are all vaults and crypts and step graves. And all of this we talked about on previous episodes, how these all work and why the wall crypts the year and a day thing, how they share these crypts, so many people. Some of these have 100 people in them. And how do you accomplish that? Well, look at that, gazing at the sky. Interesting look. Do you know the resting place of David McCallum, the actor? I don't. You'll probably find it on Find a Grave. But I don't do many celebrities and actors. I'm more after the forgotten stories or more the unknown stories. There are other channels that are pretty good that do that, like Steve does that, Hollywood stories, Hollywood actors and things. Steve, I don't know if you guys watch him. Really good guy. I like Steve. Like I like Scott on Tape and Harmon, infamous crime locations, and Part-Time Explorer. Okay, I'll go through my list of my buddies. It's all good guys. I don't know Steve though that well. Maybe I'll meet him someday. California. Oh no, Palm Springs. I think he's living in Palm Springs now. Look at this. This is just so densely packed and interesting, isn't it? Too much concrete. Way too much, Jason says. I know. Well, they call it Cities of the Dead. Actually, if you go to Metairie, so I did 2 episodes at Metairie this trip. So check out those. I think you will really like Metairie because Metairie is kind of like the traditional. I mean, they have a lot of these vaults and crypts, but it's spread out and a lot of grass and a lot of trees and a lot of crows, murders of crows. Yeah, but you're right. This is packed in. But I wanted to take you somewhere today we haven't been before. I don't like doing the repeat stories. All right, I'll try to keep my eye open on some interesting inscriptions. So yeah, from here I'm going to head tomorrow back to Texas. I got a couple more stories to do there, and then I'm going to head back to Phoenix. And I think the weather is really going to get nice at that point. Hello, Sophie. What a surprise. And your favorite, New Orleans? Yeah, New Orleans is pretty cool. I really like New Orleans just as a city. The people are nice, and gosh, there's nothing better than going down like Royal Street and going from place to place and hearing different bands. I love live music, so they got that crazy antique store I had in the one episode like 3 years ago. Yeah, it's super expensive, cool antique store. It has all this crazy stuff from Europe. Super expensive. It's like a museum. I forget the name of it, but I got it in that episode. We did a little tour in there. For sure, Nikki. Glad you are enjoying New Orleans. There's a Saints player buried in my hometown. Chris says, okay, that's cool. Where are you, Chris? Where are you at? I forgot. Now look at somebody put a mirror here. Wonder why. Broken mirror. New Orleans is a great place to quote unquote visit, says Deep Sea, which means you like it here, but you don't want to stay. Nice place to visit, but you don't want to live here, huh? Okay. They are, Sheila. Everybody here is. I have not had any problems here, although I drive this. I have a Ram truck, and I understand that kind of truck is a target here. Like I was going out for dinner last night, and I ended up Ubering because I was just afraid to park my truck, down And there's just a lot of break-ins I hear. I don't know if that's true, but even the Uber driver was saying, yeah, it's a good thing. Like even if you could find parking, I wouldn't leave the truck for like at night for 2 hours. So I don't know what you guys. That's the only knock on New Orleans as of late that I've heard. But hey, if you're going to Mardi Gras, you do not want to be driving. Because I got last year, I was pretty close to Mardi Gras where it was starting to heat up, and you couldn't even. Oh my gosh, the traffic was like ridiculous. Now there's another cemetery across the street here. I wonder what that is. Charles Baptist. Some interesting inscriptions. It's true, Uber might be best. Yeah, yeah. England is so cold and dark. Maxine says, do you have snow? Is it snowing? I know you have snow. I'm going to try to get to London. Should we go across the street? Let's go check this out. I don't even know. There looks like a really cool chapel kind of thing over there. Let's go check. You want to go see? Michael, I'm doing good. Are you in Australia? Mate? Down under? Let's go see what this is. Is this like St. Joseph #2? I'm guessing. Wow, I'm so smart. There's a lot of these cemeteries that have like 1, 2, and 3. We share a lot of cool stories on Facebook. Cool. Mary Reese, $10. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let's enter the gates. I don't see a sign here. Let's see. So that's where we came from. This is like back door. Maybe if you go, well, no, this is the front. There's just no, it's got to be St. Joseph #2. I don't know. Is it? Oh, here's another. Look at these marble, how they warp with the weather. It's like curved. This one's bricked up. If you guys just came on this live stream, if you watched the recording at the beginning, we looked behind one of these. It was open and we looked inside. Spooky. Spooky. If you come, please go to Edinburgh. I want to, but I don't think I'm going to have time. I'm going to have to focus on London. But I definitely have a list there. To the north. Yeah, Scotland's cool. I love the name Ambrose. There's an interesting stone. I don't know if I'm going to do a Canada trip, Ontario, and then eastbound, maybe to Niagara Falls kind of route this summer. And then we'll see about England. I mean, I'm going to get there. If it's not this summer, it'll be next summer. But I've got so many stories in London that are just really good and that you haven't heard. A lot of them you have not heard. In fact, I take pride. Most of my stories, I really try to focus on, because I want to investigate stories I haven't heard. It's fun to research them and find them. And a lot of them I get from you guys, suggestions. And I read every one of them. Let me tell you, I'm pretty picky. I can't say I'm going to take them all, but I love the effort. Let's see, Poem Paget. I was looking at the map of Iceland. Volcano, 1,000 miles. Yeah, that's another place I want to get to and will get to someday, which I guess is a good place to go is Iceland. Anybody been to Iceland here watching? Spending a fortune on a funeral, waste of money. Oh, come on, John. Dude, it's okay. You can't take the money with you. Higgins. So look at this. This looks like a mausoleum. You don't see many mausoleums here. Daryl was stationed in Iceland in the 1980s. Did you like it there? Let's go check that out. want to see what this, oh, this is like a chapel, Gothic style. The name is Smith. Oh, we can look inside too. Look at that. Frontier MT, been a while. Good to hear from you. Hopefully you get through the winter. Jack the Ripper victims, yeah, yeah. You know, I'm doing I am going to do a little bit on Jack the Ripper, but not like everybody else. I've got some segments and some abstracts of history that you probably haven't heard that I found really interesting associated with Jack the Ripper. So yeah, definitely will be doing some of that. And I will be hitting all the big cemeteries except for Highgate. I think Highgate has turned into a complete tourist trap. As cool as it is, I will be staying away from Highgate. Totally worn out on YouTube. But I will, you know, they got I think it's the fabulous seven cemeteries. And Highgate is one of them. I'll be hitting the other ones. Oh, look at that glass up there. And that symbol. Let's see if we can get a focus on that somehow. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Here we go. Now you can see it. I got to zoom in on this, you guys. This is really cool. Look at that. Isn't that cool? It almost looks like the Saxons, right? Look at that glass. Fabulous. There are no names on these vaults. No names. Interesting. Usually there's inscriptions. And there's one in the floor. Ooh. How'd you like to go down there? Hold on, let me get the camera on that. Ooh, there's probably steps. If you open that, you can descend. You can descend into the gates of hell. No disrespect to the Smith family. Just talking about Stull Cemetery. You ever see that episode I did in Kansas? Oh, 2 Halloweens ago, man, that place is spooky as get out. All right, let's go this way. Let's find some cool inscriptions, all right? We'll get you up close. Jack the Ripper. You guys like Jack the Ripper? Yeah, the buildings are gone. There's a couple of good YouTubes on that. People taking you to the actual locations where the victims were found. Eddowes and, was it Mary Eddowes? That's the worst picture. Eddowes. That's the picture I always remember. She's gutted. Ooh, freaky. Susanna for 5. Enjoyed 19 degrees in Tewksbury. Tewksbury, where is that? Massachusetts? I didn't know there's Tewksbury, Massachusetts. I love Massachusetts. Sounds like you live in a pretty cool town. Does that say Eisenhower? As in Dwight Eisenhower? No, that's a different spelling, I think. Different spelling. Wonder what building that is. Look at that out there. Some tower. The Templar Knights. Yeah, when I went to the Masonic Cemetery, which is the first episode of, I have 3 parts of this thing that I'm doing here that I was talking about. And the Masonic, you see, one of them was a definite Knights Templar. Ooh, that's like, ooh. What's that movie or the book? The Knights Templar. Interesting. Hello, Susie Ross. How are you doing? Glad you are with us. Look at all the different names. See, I talked about how this all works. You know, there's multiple people in these crypts. And after a year and a day, Well, that's more for the community association crypts. They put your remains, your bones that have been cooked in the hot weather, the humidity, and the bugs, and in a year you're reduced down to a pile, and they put it in a bag and they shove it in the back, and it goes down a chute, and they just keep doing that. And after decades, there's just piles of people in here. Now these family ones, they kind of do a similar thing, but anyway, you can go back to my other episodes. When I first came here, I explained all that. I have been on a walk on the Jack the Ripper. That's Joanne Adams. But it would be interesting to hear your take on it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, if I have that on my list, but it's going to be, yes, a completely different take from different history that you probably haven't heard before, that I've uncovered. Not like I've uncovered. That's, yeah. I just Steve Williams, thanks for the 5. I just I don't know. I just pick up on certain things that a lot of other people don't, maybe, and I focus on certain things that catch my eye in stories, certain facts. Look at this. The stone is buried in the concrete. Look at this over here. Wow, destruction. I saw some of this at Greenwood Cemetery a couple years ago. Just looks like they've been exploded. Talk about lack of maintenance on this one. And you see how this is all covered with this cement. Under here is this. It's these bricks. These bricks were very common here, and that is kind of the substrate, the material that's underneath on a lot of these things. A lot of these. Hello, Susie Ross. How are you doing? Glad you could join us. Deliberate? Poem Paget says deliberate. No, I don't think so. You don't see a lot of vandalism here compared to other places, in my opinion. And I think that the people here, just the culture of New Orleans, the cemeteries are like pivotal and central to the culture here. And people, I think, revere these cemeteries, their history, and it's definitely a tourist attraction. And it's not, I can't say that I've seen any vandalism here in New Orleans, any of the cemeteries. And there are more cemeteries here per square inch or per square mile than anywhere I think in the world. I mean, this is a really neat place. Okay, guys, so we're back at the entry. We've kind of covered these 2 cemeteries. So I am going to, that's going to be it. It's a little short, just a little short check-in. So hopefully see you guys soon on a live stream. I don't know if I'll do another one on the way back. Maybe I will. See how the weather is. And tomorrow night, Saturday's today, yeah, tomorrow night, Sunday, we've got that Bad Women Month story. So 8 p.m. Central Time. All right. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night, and I'll catch up with you guys soon. Thanks for hanging out. It was fun finally catching up. It's been a couple, 3 weeks since, well, from Sacramento since the last time that talked to you guys. So I always like to check in. So great hearing from you. It's fun talking and chatting, and catch you soon. All right. Later.